Welcome, viewers and listeners, to yet another episode of Island Vibes, a weekly podcast where we look at things Caribbean, the islands, the people, their culture, politics, and way of life. Today, December 14th, Sunday, December 14th, we will be looking at the Delegates Conference just concluded of the United Workers' Party, UWP, in Dominica. Uh, a conference where they elect every year, annually, a new executive. Mr. Thompson Fountain was the leader of the party for the past year. And this year, challenging him for leadership was Pastor Randy Rodney, who was the front runner. The election results went in favor of Mr. Fountain, 83 votes to 75. And Mr. Ronald Charles was elected as deputy leader of the party. I was told that Mr. Rodney, who was nominated for the position of deputy leader, declined. Prior to the elections by the delegates, Mr. Fountain addressed the party faithful and those gathered, the delegates at the conference, and I took away some things from his speech. I applaud him very much for the message to the delegates in terms of a unified approach going forward. And this was before the election, so I mean he was pretty confident from his speech that he would have been retained as leader. And I think his speech was a commendable one, in an effort to try and unite the party. And I appreciate particularly his call for the people who didn't support him in the past term, going forward, for seeking their support. And he had this to say, and I quote, "We are not in this to fail. We are in this together to win an election." And I think that was a very, very strong and pointed, positive message. Very precise. And he went on to say further as well, don't confuse my silence and steady determination to get the job done as weakness. And while I agree with that, I mean, silence doesn't always mean weakness. But I will say this to Mr. Fountain. You don't have to be vocal on everything going forward, but you need to let the people hear your voice, especially at times when you need to speak proactively and swiftly, on matters, especially those including, matters within your party itself. Because we know that there's been rifts, the past few years within the party. I hope going forward that this is addressed. Uh, you also ask for the people to be patient, and that I can agree with, but you should keep in mind, and through no fault of yours, the party has not been successful in their bid to win an election the past 25 years or the past 20 years. And you have to understand that people are longing for change. People are, you know, to some extent desperate for change, with the UWP being in opposition for 25 years now. That lends to a lot of emotional outcries, and especially, the past year, people losing hope because of all the rifts that were within the party. And I hope going forward that you can unite the party, that everybody, gets on board with you, your executive. You also made a point, really, the delegates conference being held annually, and I agree with that too. That it should. This is something that needs to be looked at, because I don't think a year is enough for an executive to properly execute the visions and plans of the party. And the fact that the new executive may have visions of their own, they may have plans of their own, they may see things differently, they may see new things and may want to adopt new things, new strategies, employ new strategies that can be beneficial to the party, and I think a year is not enough time, for them to be able to do some of these things. Going forward is something that this, that your executive, Mr. Fountain, can look at. It's something that has been at the party for many years now, from its inception, that they have delegates conference every year. But like I said, I don't think 1 year is enough for an executive to properly execute the plans and visions of the party, and anything new that may come up, that any new venture that they may want to undertake. The delegates have voted, and I hope going forward that the people who in the past sowed seeds of division and confusion and promoted the selfishness, I do hope that these people can put these things aside, and support the new executive, and respect the wishes of the delegates going forward. And I will say this to Mr. Fountain: you have been given a mandate again to govern the party. You need to take charge of the party, and be more assertive. Speak out when you need to. Uh, the fact that people think that you're being silent, it's what they see, and you know what they say about people's perceptions. So let the people hear your voice. Let them know what you're doing. Because the people need assurance. They need hope, and you have been elected to give them just that. And I want to caution you that you need to be wary too, not of those who call you out for mistakes or wrongs. You know, even if they do so publicly, but be wary of those who praise you in public. But if things don't go as they like, they will turn on you quickly. So be wary of people like that. So this is just some friendly advice. People will always be critical, and take the critics in a positive light, in a way to do better. As long as people are not you know making disparaging remarks about you, people are going to be critical about certain things you do, and you should consider them with grace. But be wary of those who will praise you publicly, and not caution you, or not try to guide you going the right way, but behind your back, or when things don't go their way, they will quickly turn on you. So going forward, I wish you and your executive all the best. And it's healthy for our democracy in Dominica, and I do hope that you, for the next coming year, you and the executive will be able to work in the interests not only of your party, but in the interests of, you know, Dominica and the people who have placed their trust and confidence and the hope in you. So until next time, do have a pleasant evening all.